Stephen A. Smith is actually behaving like Stephen in Django.
Yeah.
And trying to be one of these black people that try to make it to where, oh, y'all got to be careful. Don't protest. Do whatever Trump says. Flatter him. Make a deal with him. If Martin Luther King took that advice, if Malcolm took that advice, if our leaders, if Harriet Tubman took that advice, you wouldn't be on your platform right now, Stephen A. Smith, if those black people that came before you would have just gone along to get along.
Targeting me.
Fuck Stephen A. Stephen A, Stephen B, Stephen C. Like, my offer still stands. You want me to be quiet and stop streaming? Well, I want you to be quiet and get off these networks.
Did Jaylen Brown say that when I was raving about him all season long? Did he say that when I had him as a top 2 league MVP candidate? Did he say that when I raised holy hell when he got ejected from the game against San Antonio, when he and Wembanyama were going up against one another, and him, Wembanyama, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander were the top 3 candidates for league MVP honors? Did he say that then? Did he challenge my journalism then? No, he did not. Did he say anything when I was going off on Team USA for him not being a member of that team when clearly he deserved to be? No, he did not. Being home must be very, very frustrating, and he's looking to, exhale per se and get stuff off of his chest. Why he's targeted me, I really don't get it, but I'm here for it. Numerous dudes that have played for the Boston Celtics and numerous former players all pointed to how that was a very unwise thing for him to say it, but yet he's targeting me. Before I go any further, I want you to hear exactly what this man had to say.
I'm speaking to men directly now. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. That's not acceptable.
Respectfully, President Obama, what you said is not acceptable. Is it possible that the only reason some black folks may not be inclined to vote, or they may be a bit disenchanted, or dare I say may even be willing to go as far as voting for Trump, is it possible that it's policy as opposed to misogyny, inflation, the cost of living, the price of gas, the price of groceries, that don't matter? Immigration and our borders, and this belief that there's an elevated level of sensitivity towards them as opposed to black folks struggling, if not starving, in this country. Yes, that plays a role too. When the mayor of New York was talking about $53 million in prepaid credit cards for immigrants who came across our borders illegally and having prepaid credit cards for them. And I said, wait a minute, black folks been starving for years. We ain't get that. You don't think they notice? I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm on the verge one of these days real soon of blowing a gasket. If I see that lady, figuratively speaking, in our face one more time talking about she told us so, it's pissing me off. Because it's implying that we didn't support her. Nearly 75 million people voted for her. You had a 107-day campaign. 75 million people almost showed up to vote for you. You had $1.5 billion to spend. We supported you. Why are you sitting at a memorial service in a church with nothing but black people around you talking to us about you told us so, like we didn't support you? I voted for her. Most black folks voted for her. What are you talking about? We supported you when you didn't necessarily earn our support. You didn't go through a primary. You didn't scallivant around the country earning our vote, knocking door to door. You didn't do that. You bypassed the primary. You were handed the presidential nomination for the Democratic Party once Biden stepped down. You had some people in the Democratic Party laughing about the fact that, you know what? We're glad that Biden stepped down when he did, because had he stepped away earlier, there would have been a primary. She wouldn't have been a Democratic nominee for the presidency. And after that, you know what? She wouldn't have had that opportunity. It wasn't us that went on The View. And when you were asked, is there anything different that you would do compared to what Biden did? I really can't think of anything. We didn't do that. You did. And we voted for you anyway. We told you to be aggressive, to stop being so damn loyal to Joe Biden, to making sure that you assuaged his concerns, and as a result, you were conducting yourself in a fashion that was non-offensive to him, more so than prioritizing getting as many votes as you possibly could to win the presidency, and you could thank him and you could take care of him later. We were telling you that. We were telling you to be more aggressive. We were telling you to be more assertive. We were telling you to remind people of your record. You were an attorney general. You were a senator. You were the reigning vice president of the United States. You had the credential. What were you being passive for? You didn't want to be disloyal. You didn't want to come across as being disloyal. But we found out in your book, after you lost the election, you didn't tell us all of that beforehand. You wasn't aggressive beforehand. You didn't push the envelope beforehand. Black folks still supported you. Why you keep standing in our face talking about you told us so? Like somehow, some way we went against you and we didn't believe you and we didn't support you. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. In some cases, against our better judgment, we still supported you. I say all of that because I'm sick and tired of us walking around passive and absorbing and stomaching this stuff that is flat out untrue. Black folks voted for Kamala Harris. Supported Kamala Harris. You didn't have to say you told us so. We knew, we still know. And we supported you. You yourself had to admit that you didn't campaign accurately or the right way. You keep leaning on 107 days that you had. You keep leaning on the fact that you were at a disadvantage. You still had $1.5 billion. You still beat Trump on a debate stage when you went up against him. You yourself said that you had more voters come out to vote for the Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States of America than anyone in history. Why do you keep saying you told us so? Very annoying. It's not fair to us who supported you. It's not. And then we find out how candid and in your face and unapologetic you could be when it's time to sell your book, but not when you're running for the presidency. Come on now. We've been supporting you. We've been spewing your credentials. When they tried to minimize you, your intellect, your accomplishments, or anything in between, we jumped up and defended you. Why are you telling us? I told you so. Like we did you wrong. We did not. How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be. Another black man, another statistic. It hurts, but it's worth repeating, people, not just for Plexico Burress, but for all professional black athletes today, especially the ones who continuously display an affinity for lawlessness and trifling behavior. We can all sit here and say what happened to Plexico Burress is not about race. In fact, when you consider that he's been fined, suspended for the rest of the season, and in danger of going to jail for shooting himself, flagrant stupidity is a prominent thought.
That is, of course, until we recall Michael Vick, Adam Pac-Man Jones, Chris Henry, Larry Johnson, Tank Johnson, and others more feared than admired because of the young minds they're perceived as guiding towards an inevitable path to destruction. All of them black men, all of them on the police block, ultimately stigmatized as unappreciative of the stature they've held as professional athletes. And that is the moment when race becomes more prevalent than ever. What the rest of the world is learning is something most folks in the black community have known for quite some time. That while the need to conform is acceptable for most, it is something far too many black athletes disdain. Why else would Burris be fined more than 35 times? Why is Allen Iverson just as famous for practice, man? We talking about practice as he is for his game. Why else would Larry Johnson allegedly spit in someone's face and think he can get away with it? Why would Pac-Man Jones fight his own security guard knowing he's already under a no-tolerance policy? Why did Commissioner David Stern ever feel the need for a dress code in the NBA? It's because time and again, we see a black athlete step forward and give the rest of America the proverbial finger. It seems to be their way of saying, look, I got millions. I've made it. How you like me now? The shame in Burris or any of these athletes is not just the trouble they found themselves in, but their insensitivity toward the lives they ultimately taint with their actions. Benefit of the doubt gets replaced by a presumption of guilt for themselves, their contemporaries, and those in pursuit of similar success. And where exactly does that end up leaving black America? Even with a black man as the next president of the United States of America.
Call me, because I just said it.
Not Rasho. Hold on, skip. Not Rasho
I know where you're going. I didn't want to go there.
Not Slava Medvedenko.
Slava.
And certainly not Kwame Brown.
How do you think Kwame Brown feels when you say Kwame?
Do I get to answer this, or are these rhetorical questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Do I get to answer it, or are they just rhetorical questions?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something right now. Kwame, all right, I'm going to tell you why I say Kwame Brown or Rasho the Slava Medvedenko. I'll tell you why. Because you're Kwame Brown. You're 7 feet tall. You're the #1 overall draft pick, okay? You come into this league, you came in without a jump shot. You came in without the ability to rebound. You came in without the ability to do nice footwork, to pass, to rebound, to defend, to score points, or whatever the case may be. And it's a decade later, and you're still that dude. You've never worked and put forth your due diligence in order to take advantage of the privilege opportunity that you were in. And when I see that level of consistency as it pertains to ineptitude, I'm going to call somebody out. If a dude is playing like garbage, you don't sit there and point out he's playing like garbage?
Of course
you don't
I
sit
do,
there and point out how he's not living up to expectations?
I don't want to get away from what we're talking about, because that's what makes this
Oh,
great.
I'm staying on the point. I'm right here.
But
right here.
there's a difference between reporting what you see in the box score at the game or calling someone a scrub. Like, if I make...
But he is a scrub.
Not if he's a scrub.
And you know it.
Kwame Brown may be a scrub compared to Shaquille O'Neal. And if he's able to maintain one of those jobs for 10 years, there's no way he could be a scrub.
Relatively, he's a scrub.
No,
What?
no, he
What?
can't be.
Are you? Did you just say that with a straight face? Did you just say that with a straight face?
Do you guys realize that somebody's paying him millions of dollars to play basketball?
Unfortunately, they are.
Jalen, answer my question.
Why do you think the guy that's 10 through 15 on the bench is able to have a long career?
Answer my question.
He's got to have some
Jalen,
skill set.
Skip,
But I think they're
Skip.
saying
Jalen
relative to the other players. Stephen A. is not going to stop till you answer it. So
Hello,
go ahead, Stephen A.
Hello, Jalen. Jalen Rose, star, All-American in high school, played in the finals, can ball. You trying to tell me that you don't know a scrub when you see a scrub? You trying to tell me that everybody in the NBA can play? Are you sitting there with a straight face and you're saying to me that everybody
who
in
are
the
we
NBA
comparing
can
them
play?
to? Who are we comparing them to?
I'm just saying we're comparing them to the NBA.
If you're going to compare Slava Medvedenko to Hakeem Olajuwon, he doesn't have a chance.
You
If
should
you're going
be
to compare
ashamed of
me to
yourself.
Magic Johnson,
You should be ashamed
can
of
say,
yourself, Jalen.
But
That's ridiculous.
everybody has naysayers, Stephen A. And so what will my naysayer say?
Hold
he
on,
never
no.
won
We're talking
anything.
fact. Hold on.
What is he talking about?
We're talking
He's
fact.
no Magic Johnson.
All right.
He doesn't
keep
know
talking.
anything.
Okay,
Keep
so
talking.
It works both ways.
Okay, so
we speaking fact. If you 7 feet tall, 270 pounds. You trying to tell me there is not some dudes in the NBA that's there strictly because of their size?
What about
you
a
got
Brian
people that's being
Scalabrine?
utilized all day long that can't
You
play.
think Brian Scalabrine
That
in the
can't
league
play.
because
Did LA give up too much to get a guy who has been labeled soft?
Is that a trick question?
You tell me.
They gave up Kwame Brown.
Two
Who
first
cares?
rounders.
I could care less.
Tied into his salary.
More importantly, Kwame Brown is gone. The City of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever, plays no defense, doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it. And you're asking me whether they gave up too much? Please, the Los Angeles Lakers knew exactly what they were doing. They should be celebrating right now. In this particular instance, you keep those guys. You still have Fisher with Jordan Farmar. And on top of all of that, you give up Kwame Brown? Please, there's nothing to think about. There's nothing even to think about.
But it doesn't matter because he's replacing Kwame Brown. And when you take it to the fact that you're replacing nothing, that makes you something, which is a plus. And that's the way to look at this situation. Kwame Brown, God bless him, is a scrub. He can't handle the ball, can't post up, can't do anything, can't play defense. The Lakers were struggling. They were mired in complete disgust, knowing that they were on the brink of mediocrity anytime he was on the floor because he couldn't get it done. Now you've got Pau Gasol. You pair him with Andrew Bynum. You didn't give up Lamar Odom either, and you still got Fisher and Kobe? Please, this is a beautiful deal.
Call it whatever you want. If Kwame Brown ends up in this city wearing a New York Knicks uniform, actually allowed to parade the streets of New York as a member of one of the most storied franchises, I don't know what I will do.
Oh, man.
You go. You just start. You just goodbye, Shelby. Just goodbye.
Right.
Goodbye.
Have a nice night.
But they bring Kwame Brown to this city. Kwame Brown. I don't know what I'll do. And by the way, ESPN, don't even try to get me to do anything with it. I'll quit first. I just cannot take. I can't take it. Just the thought of it makes me stutter.
Yeah. Roy Hibbert. Good Lord, I can't. I'm trying to be nice. Skip Bayless. Roy Hibbert looks worse than Kwame Brown.
Oh, boy.
I can't believe that I'm saying that.
Mouthful.
Roy, I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know what to say. I cannot believe. But Kwame Brown had the disadvantage of small hands, small feet.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school, wasn't taught the game.
Yeah.
He's got all of these excuses. Roy Hibbert, 7'2", big hands, big feet, went to Georgetown, had a couple of post moves that appeared at least last year in the playoffs.
It sure did.
Okay? Was one of the runner-up for defensive player of the year. All of a sudden, he can't seem to do anything, right? I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And I hate it. I hate saying that because I like him so much, man. But it just hurts to watch these guys.
So you're saying that Roy Hibbert has now replaced Kwame Brown as your symbol of ineptitude in the NBA, right?
As a big man?
Yeah. That's what you're saying.
Oh, boy.
And
yeah, man.
Yeah.
I can't. What am I going to say?
Nothing.
I can't believe it.
Okay.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Okay. Voila, here's my team, and I'm going to have you read the names for me. Could you read my 4 teammates?
Oh, my God.
I just, in honor of you, I want you to read the 4
Tiago Splitter, Rasho Nastarovich, Kwame Brown, and Slava Medvedenko.
It's Stanislav, actually.
Get the Stanislav.
Oh, my God. That's a joke on me.
No,
it's not.
That is a joke on me.
No, that's a
That team could beat anybody because it's got Michael Jordan on it.
You went through a couple of years struggling big time before ultimately Phil came back, and then you got Pau Gasol in that trade for Kwame Brown. That's what happened.
Don't get me started with Kwame Brown. I'm not going to do that because I'll lose my mind.
Kwame Brown. That's not the end of the
looked you up and down and wouldn't shake your hand and hold it to his other part. He had an entourage. Kwame Brown. What is this world? What is this world coming to?
That's part of the story is your first NBA bucket came against?
Came against Kwame Brown.
Too good to be true.
Well, that ain't hard to do. That ain't hard to do.
It's still
How is that really? Really, when he first came in the league, this is before he ever played, so we didn't know how bad he was. So it wasn't a tough time at that particular moment in time. He was the #1 overall pick in the draft. Nobody had a clue how inept he would end up being. And here you are trying to be nice.
7 feet tall, 260, 270 pounds. 10 years in the league, and there is no noticeable improvement whatsoever. That's my issue. You with Joe Scrub, no offense, having sex. Just said that. I mean, that's just blasphemy. You should apologize for bringing that up. And when I look at somebody, you have an opportunity to make millions of dollars playing a game for a couple of hours a day. You can't maximize that to the greatest of your ability and make it happen? You can't do that? That's inexcusable, bro. It just is. Again, if you're a scrub, you're a scrub. But if 5 years from now, you're still doing it, we got a problem.
That's a major problem.
You have nothing else to do. How come you're not better? How are you in the league for 10 years and you're still the same scrub you were in 2001? I have a problem with that.
Before Kwame Brown got traded, I went to a Lakers game at Staples Center. And it was a moment where they were up comfortably. So Phil Jackson decides to call Kwame Brown's number on 5 consecutive plays. That doesn't happen. Kobe doesn't get his name called on 5 consecutive offensive plays. He did that for Kwame Brown. First play, he bounced it off his foot. Turnover. Second play, turn around jump shot. Air ball. Third play, he got stripped. And then he got booed. Fourth play, jump hook. Air ball. Fifth play, he just gave it up to the referee like he knew he was going to turn.
Kwame Brown! Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you, pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me? Did you tell the folks that, you bitch? Did you tell them? You fat piece of shit. Did you tell them that? Got the names. We got Jamel Hill. We got Howard Bryant. You want me to bring up the other writers that wouldn't work for you? Why it took you nearly 2 years to get an article out? Because you ran that shit so bad you were running it into the ground.
First take Jalen